Today's date is April 24th, 2019. I'm interviewing...
My name is Rojelio Badillo. I was born in January 21st, 1945.
So, were you drafted or were you...
Yes, I was. I was drafted in prior to 67. Well, yeah, in 67. Well, yeah, I was drafted. Yes, I was drafted. Yeah, but that's when I went in. I went in 67, and my first fort was over at Fort Lewis. I got there in July of 67, and I was there for basic training. And then after that, my advanced training, which was AIT, I went out to Missouri, Fort Leavenworth, Missouri. First it was St. Louis, Washington, and then it was Fort Leavenworth, Missouri.
And how old were you whenever...
I believe I was like 20 years old, I believe, yeah. I think I was about 20 years old, yeah.
And were you married at the time?
No, I was not married, no. I was not, no. I was engaged with, of course, my wife now, but we decided not to get married, but we'd still be engaged. And if everything went well, as far as me being over there, maybe we could make plans as when I got home, okay. Which we did, and we got married. Yeah.
Were you from a small town?
Small at the time. It's been growing quite a bit, but it was considered a smaller town, yes, at the time. Yeah, in Edinburgh, Texas, yes.
What were some of your hobbies whenever you were there?
When I was...
Here
at home, well, let's see, I used to go hunting. I used to go fishing. And with some of my buddies, of course, in different seasons, like quail and white wing. Yeah, of course, deer. Yeah, those were some of the hobbies, and some fishing.
What were your opinions about the U.S. being in the Vietnam War?
Well, at the time, I didn't think, at the time I just thought I had a duty to serve my country. So as far as being opinionated, I thought I was doing something good, as far as like keeping somebody that's trying to, destroy our democracy, from taking over, because we were trying to help the southern part of Vietnam, which were mostly democratic. They thought the way, they didn't want to be communism. So we at the time I thought I was doing something. Well, I still do. We thought, we were doing something. So I never went against what I was doing. I didn't like being there, because I didn't want to get hurt, because they were out there to hurt you. Mm-hmm. So, and I did. I was in a couple of a few battles but luckily I got home.
I got.
Physically well, mentally not that great. Because I still have my nightmares. Mm-hmm. It's kind of hard to be around people. Mm-hmm. Going when they have parties or stuff like that, or going to large groups, gatherings, even if it's my family, like when we used to all get together. It's not easy for me. I don't know why, but it's part of, I believe it's part of what I went through. Mm-hmm. Yeah, or the way I got treated when I got back, or on the way home. Yeah.
What was your first impressions whenever you went out over there in Vietnam?
When I went there, I was scared, and like I said, when I first got there, I was scared, especially flying in at night. And then when the pilot, turns off the lights inside the plane, and he says, if they start throwing mortars or artillery at the plane, we'll get down as soon as I stop the plane. The doors will be open, and they had some trenches on each side of the airport, of the runway. He said, "You guys start running and get in the trenches." You know? And me not being, used to, well, most of us, we're not used to all this stuff. So you get scared. You get scared and say, "Oh, where did I? Why did they bring me here?" But you do what you're told and keep your eyes open and everything, and you'll do all right.
And what were your living conditions whenever you were over there?
As best as we could. I mean, sometimes we didn't shower that much. They try to provide showers. It's in the base camp, if you're out in the field, because it's kind of hard. As you probably saw some pictures in my album, a little creek, we saw a little creek with water well, we try to clean up a little bit. But being with the combat engineers, we had a little more stuff as far as bringing over to us. Not like the infantry, where they are always out there in the boonies. Because I was in infantry, although I did get in some battles because of my work coming. But conditions as far as expected, you try to keep your place clean. I mean, tents, pop tents or whatever, yeah. So, or out in the boonies somewhere, but still.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
It was not the convenience and the comfort of home, but we made do with what we had. Or for a while, we knew we'd be there for a while. We would come home, So,
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What was your job assignment while you were over there?
My job assignment was a demolition, and I got to be demolition specialist. And I got to work with demo, mostly dynamite and C4. Yeah. So being attached to a combat engineer group, construction, I got to, when they were doing, like, for instance, they did Highway 1 was reconstructed when I was there. And I helped with some of their demolition, as far as whitening certain places where it was like all rock, they had pneumatic drills. Packing with dynamite, so they could blow up the rock, extend it. And also mine sweep. My squad, one of my squad, or our squad, where I was in as a senior demo, I was supposed to go. We had a certain percentage of the road or Highway 1, to where we had to mine sweep every day, because they would put mines on the, And it seems like when the engineers went over and maybe like put a culvert in for water coming down, or during the monsoon season, because sometimes it was just dry. They finished, and the next day it would be all blown up to pieces, And that's why we had to mine sweep every day. Yeah, and that's where some of my buddies got hurt, stepped on mines, Yeah, and I used to. A lot of times I would walk flank. Flank means you run, the rest of the team is on the floor, on the main road, mine sweeping, and they always send somebody up on the jungle side, they will make sure that there's nothing up, or, you have to be careful because you're walking through rough terrain, the jungle and all that. Mm-hmm. And I got to do that. Nobody wanted to do it, and I didn't either, but I did it, so it was scary, very scary. So I got lucky I didn't get hurt. Because if you're gonna get hurt, you'll probably be the first one to get hurt, because you're up, ahead of the team, making sure there's nothing up there. So yeah, so but I survived. So
what was your daily routine like?
The main thing was mine sweeping as soon as we get up. Yeah, mine sweep the area, because the construction crew would go up there every day, doing something. They always had something doing, because they wanted to. Because before we got there, you know, where with the group that I was with, the construction company I passed to, Highway 1, they couldn't keep it open because they keep blowing places out, so the troops couldn't, or the convoy, you know, or supplies and stuff, they couldn't go up north, and they were trying to keep it open. So that's when we came in, you know, try to keep it open, and the whole battalion of different areas, once, you know, because it was going across one side, like from Da Nang to the other side, which was a peninsula, and then going up close to the DMC. So they scattered us all out, you know, in groups, and my group was close to the peninsula. So, and we would mine sweep from there, so many miles up, and then the next group would take over. So that was every day. You know. And if some of those groups were with us, they were doing them in that. Like our group would go in first, and then they would just follow because they want to take over after we've done our share. They go up, you know. So, yeah, but that's what I was doing. My main thing was explosive. We found a mine. We would have to go in and explode it. We would do that, explode the mine in place, which I got lucky. I mean, that's what I mean. I say I got lucky because when I got there, we were gonna. You start probing. If you find something, you probe it, and that is very scary. You know, you start probing and try to get it out. But as soon as a few days later, when I got there, they said, if you find anything, do not take it out. Blow it in place. So that's what we were doing with a small amount of dynamite or C4, just a little bit. Because C4 is for metal, bigger metal I-beams and stuff like that. But you can still use it, you know, or we would blow it in place. So that helped a lot. Okay, you see with trying to take it out, you know, and it might be booby trap or you know. Mm-hmm. So it's hard. You know, I don't know if you ever seen something like that being done on the ground. You know, very slow. It takes time. But and you detect it, and whoever's in charge of that, was you have to go in and try to take it out or explode it. Actually, our group, we were exploding it then. There was no taking it out. It was just exploding, just blow it up in place. In other words.
So after you were done doing your job, what would you then do?
It's not like, well, we were always doing something, you know, and I don't remember like having the day off, or I don't know. It seems like the day was always
something to do.
Yeah, it's always, you know, the only as far as if they give you what they call an R&R, rest and recoup. They would give you a week, and you could go, you know, certain places for a week. They would, you know, fly you over. If you're going to Japan, Bangkok, or I think even the States, you could come in for a week. I think I'm not too sure on the States, but or you could take your week off of R&R there, because there were some areas that were pretty secure, and some of the beaches there were, you know, you could they had places where you could go and just relax, and enjoy the beach, or they had theaters, and you could go, you know, watch movies and stuff at night, you know. So that was part of the best part, I guess, because you would get away from all that jungle, you know. So yeah, but that, I mean, I don't remember, because as far as I know, I was scared. That's for sure. Smoke and everything. I used to smoke up to 2-3 packs a day. Not because I had the habit, but I always say it's because I was scared and nervous, being up. But as soon as I got home, I quit smoking. I didn't smoke anymore. Mostly for the engineers and the guys that were involved with the construction. We were just pulling security for our own guys there, or having to blow stuff that they were doing, or at the rock quarry, where they took rock to take to the work sites. Yeah, but that was it. I mean, it seems like every day. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then when you weren't getting hit by enemy, so you'd be there, have a day all day, But yeah, that was it. I mean, just the whole day there was just being there. I guess. I don't remember being off like when you're here at home, like you go to work, yeah, and 5 o'clock you're home, yeah, go with friends, go visit or whatever. You're there in the same place all the time, yeah. So you can't. It's not like home. So. I made one, maybe was it 2? Yeah, that was pictures in here. There's these 2 groups that came. Yeah, but in base, they would pull you in from where you were at the boonies, and come over to base camp, and yeah, that's. I believe that happened 1 year. That was in '68. I think that was those 2 shows, and at the time, I think even a lot of shows were, but in bigger places, where there were a lot of GIs and everything, a lot of airplanes and stuff, bigger forts, bigger areas. Like at the time, I guess like what's his name, the comedian Bob Hope would be going over once a year, and he took different people. I didn't get to see him. Some people from here, movie stars and TV stars that were going over, but I didn't get to see him. As far as the top brass like that, no, I didn't get to meet or see it. No. I knew they were there, because they would go visit. Different depending where you were at. But it was always some place. I think it was secure, where they could. They wouldn't go out there in the jungle, So, but yeah, but no complaints. I mean, or I didn't think of. Let's see what complaining about this to the generals. No, I just did my job. And that was it. I wanted to come home. Stay alive and come home.
Did your attitude change about the war while you were there?
Not about the war, but it changed my attitude for what was going on. As far as the guys that got killed, I got angry, frustrated, because most of the guys when I was there, they were all 17, 18, 19 years old, straight out of high school. See, I was one of the oldest. I believe I was like 20 years old. And they were all young guys. Man. And a lot of them got killed. So it was terrible. That's what I hated about it. That, and the worst part was that when Carter became president, see, at the time, almost everybody was getting drafted, and I was a draftee, but I didn't complain or anything. I just, like I said, I just thought, I just wanted to do the duty to my country. So, but a lot of the guys that are straight out of high school, they didn't go home. And when Carter came into office, there were a lot of guys going to Canada, and then a lot of guys going to Mexico, because they wanted to avoid the draft or going into the service. Yeah, so, and then when Carter came in as president, he pardoned all those guys. See, that was my anger. See, 'cause a lot of guys, they ran away. I mean, they ran to the, Mexico, Canada, so they wouldn't be in the Vietnam War. And then this guy, president, pardoned all those guys that had gone. And then when you see the report on that, like 58,000 guys got killed, and most of them 18, 19, they didn't even start their life. That was one big anger that I had, and it stayed with me. And up to now, I hate Carter. I don't like President Carter at all, because he pardoned the guys that were going to other countries, to avoid all this Vietnam stuff. So.
Did you ever see like racial discrimination or experience any of it?
No, they were all, they were, no, not racial. No, I did not. You were always looking after each other. I one time I got assigned a couple of guys with me to do something that they wanted done, and they didn't want to do it, so we came up words, we got exchange words, and weapons or rifles got cocked. So, but that was it, Yeah, I don't want you here, just go away, But so that was it. But no, it wasn't something like on a regular basis, No discrimination. Because as you see here, we were all together, So.
Yeah. What are some personal opinions about President John F. Kennedy?
John F. Kennedy he's the one that started the Vietnam War, I guess. He's the first one that sent some.
Is this the key for the storage room?
Yeah. See, he's the one that started the whole thing, but no, I don't have anything against him. Yeah.
What about Lyndon B. Johnson?
Lyndon B. Johnson, he just about the same. I mean, he was trying to pull us out. I think he's the one that pulled us out. I'm not sure. Was it Johnson or something? He wanted to stop the war, I think. I don't even remember, man. It's been so long. But Johnson, I didn't have any opinions on him, I don't think. I know he took office after John F. Kennedy got killed, but
how were you treated whenever you came back?
That's another story. That when I got back, there was a whole bunch of protests about the Vietnam War, and we couldn't be out there with uniform because the groups would come over and harass us, and some would try to they would spit on you and stuff, and that kind of stuff. When you get home, you're anxious to come home. You're glad to come home. Your time's up, At the time, we were pulling a year. Unless you wanted to stay longer, then you could re-up and get, But I didn't do it because of my mom. But then coming home, that was a whole different thing. You think you're coming back to the same thing that you left, and it's not. The whole world just turns around on you, and it's not the same. At the airports, seems like they would have groups there waiting for veterans to come down, and it wasn't a very pleasant time to come back. And then having to put up later, with all that stuff that went up in your mind, nightmares and stuff like that. And you don't know what's going on, you know. You don't know why. I mean, you don't think. You just say, you know, like, how come I can't? We talked about sports. I don't do sports anymore. I don't know why I can't. I used to love to go fishing, hunting, with friends, get together, go, and I haven't done it since I got back. Way back in since I got out of the service, which was 69. I was stationed at Fort Hood for my last 6 months of my tour, and ever since then, you know, I didn't look, you know, for friends to go do what I was doing. Friends knew I was back; they would invite me, and I wouldn't go. Always finding excuses not to go. Gatherings, parties, and stuff like that. You start drinking, trying to get some of all that from your mind to go away, you know. But then drinking's not going to help. It just makes it worse. But at the time, you think it helps. With your mind, you know. But yeah, I don't know.
So you think it changed you as a man?
It did, yes. In a good way, being like in the military, when you go in, they try to discipline you, you know, be right, but then they also show you how to shoot and to stay alive. So, but it does, and coming home to a whole different thing, you know, it's just, up to now, you know, I still have nightmares once in a while. I still do, though. And after 50 years for me, being since coming back, being out of Vietnam, I still get them, and I can't understand why.
Thank you for your time, and this is Michael Badillo conducting the interview.